Everyone wants a silver bullet.
Yeah, I know.
They want to be successful and rich overnight.
I know when the internet was around when I was younger, I was like 19, I was always looking for that thing, you know. What is it? The hack. What's the hack, bro?
Well, I think I found it.
What you got?
Well, it just requires these 3 things. It's all you need.
Okay, three's not that many. That seems doable.
Yeah. You just have to be agile, resilient, and extremely focused.
So there's not like a stock market trading bot or an algorithm we can just use to get rich overnight?
No, that doesn't exist.
Well, fuck me.
It takes years of introspective work, meditation, focus, peeling back layers, discipline, and but if you have...
That's not what the internet told me, bro.
You mean that course that if you pay $500 for, you'll make $100,000 a month?
Oh, so being unbreakable, basically.
Yeah, well, being flexible,
Flexible.
resilient, and focused as...
Well, you know what? I think we should talk about the silver bullet.
I think we should. Let's go.
I'm Jonathan Noel.
And I'm Brian Noel.
This is the Focus Cast.
Where we remove distractions
Increase focus.
so we can live a life with intention.
Oh, let's get
So
focused
can-
as...
I like that one better.
Same. I like that. Live with intentions, bro.
Yeah, me too. So how do we live a life with intention? It probably requires agility, resilience, and focus. So
Yeah.
first we're going to talk about agility, but what is the opposite of being agile?
Rigid.
Rigid.
Old rigid.
You know what? I define rigid as hard to move, tense, and a fixed mindset.
Yeah, like when I think of a rigid personality,
Yeah.
I think of like the old fuddy-duddy, you
Yeah.
know, in the front yard yelling at the kids in the street or something.
Yeah. Yes. I picture the dude in the office with pleated khaki pants and an oversized button down,
Oh, yeah.
telling everyone in a meeting, this is just the way we've always done it.
Yeah.
That's what I picture.
I don't question why. This is just how it's always been done.
It's always been done this way. What do you mean we should change it? What do you mean?
Yeah, so that's funny. So,
Yeah. This is a good study. You ready for this?
yeah, let's hear it, bro.
Small Business Administration, according to the study by SBA, about 20% of small businesses fell within the first year and about 50% fell within the next 5 years. 70% doesn't make it past 7 years. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
1, 21, 55, and 77 years. 70% 7 years. So each year there's another 10% is going to be hacked off.
It makes sense.
It does.
I mean, it really does.
I mean, I haven't actually listed the things that I've started. Not that all of them were official LLCs,
Yeah.
but
I mean, things change even. I mean, for one, people realize, okay, I don't want to do all this shit.
yeah.
But also just life happens.
Yeah.
But I'm not surprised by any of these stats.
Yeah.
So, but it seems like if you want to have a long-lasting, successful business, you're going to need some attributes
Yes.
like agility, resilience, and focus.
That's right. That's why we're talking about it. That's why we're talking about it today. Honestly, we're talking about it because I feel like if you focus on introspectively being these 3 things, you're unstoppable. I'm unstoppable.
Nice, bro.
That's what I believe.
All right,
What's
so
next?
we got another stat here. This is from Insight. They
Yep.
found the average lifespan of companies in the S&P 500 has decreased, and it's actually gone from 61 years in 1958 to just 18 years in 2018.
Now, that is an incredible reduction of longevity.
No kidding. I mean, when I think of the S&P 500, what do you think of? I think of like blue chips.
100-year companies.
Exactly. You know, dividend kings, blue chips.
Yeah.
They've been increasing their dividends for 50 years plus.
Yeah, that's gone, man.
And now, no,
18 years.
18 years. That's nothing.
That's nothing.
So that's why you don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? When you're investing. Like, Uber's going to be I put all my money in Uber. And then 18 years later.
18 years later.
See ya.
Bye.
I'm not picking on Uber. I like Uber, but...
So Society for Human Resources Management found that 67% of employees experience some level of resistance when faced with change in the workplace. So that's almost 70%. So your business isn't lasting as long as it used to.
Yeah.
big business. So this is affecting small businesses and big business, and the majority of your employees. Anytime you want to change anything in this seemingly ever evolving life we live in now.
So I was dating someone, and she worked for Kohler.
Yeah.
Big company. You've seen the toilets. They make all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah,
Sinks. I mean, huge business.
Yeah. Tough.
Right. But just hearing these stories about the guys in the foundry, you know, these old guys who've been there for years.
Yeah.
Anytime something was going to change, their brains couldn't handle it. They're freaking out.
Yeah.
I was like, why are we doing this? Why is this going to change? They just don't have that, you know, they're so stuck in that day-to-day, everything being the same.
I can totally see that because the toilet hasn't changed that much since its invention. I mean, it's the same damn porcelain, plastic, whatever piece of...
But if you've seen the commercial, the Kohler toilets suck down more golf balls. They're on top of their game, bro. I'm just kidding. I don't even know. I don't know that much about toilets.
They're in their innovation room and they're like, listen...
We need to suck down. Or maybe it's ping pong balls.
Ping pong balls?
Yeah.
With all of the shit that Americans are eating...
We got to step up our flushability.
There's one thing that we need more of in America, and that's the ability to flush more shit down the toilet.
The most American thing ever is not, hey, let's get our citizens healthier. It's, no, let's design a toilet that can flush down these extra processed turds.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, in my opinion, I think if I build a house, you know, other cultures, they just stand over the hole, which is more actually healthy.
Yeah,
you get more feces out of your intestines.
Yeah. When you
You're
squat.
in that position, when you squat.
Yeah.
We're meant to squat.
We're meant to squat.
So here it is. We've said this before on this podcast, but there's just another perfect American invention that's actually makes us less healthy.
Less healthy.
Yeah.
America in a nutshell.
America in a nutshell. So rigid is a fixed mindset, unable to move. And honestly, I don't, you know, again, we always talk about introspective work. We're definitely going to take an introspective spin on this.
Yeah.
So it's not outward facing, it's inward facing. And it's not you're either fixed or growth mindset. It's not that you're rigid or agile. It's usually based on the day, based on the circumstance.
It's always a combination.
Yeah.
But there's also kind of like your overall mindset. There's your baseline, you know, where you spend most of your time, and then, you know, you'll fluctuate in and out of it. But where do you want your baseline to be?
Yeah, that's the goal. That's a good point.
Yeah.
And when we set our baseline against being rigid, what we want to be is
agile.
We want to be agile. We want to function with mental, physical, spiritual agility.
Absolutely.
We want to be bendable without breaking. You know the story of the wheatgrass and the big oak tree? And the oak tree is like, I'm so strong and I'm so tall. And the wheatgrass is like just flowing. And then the wind comes and the oak tree falls, but the wheatgrass just flows in the wind.
Floats in the wind.
Yeah, that's what we want to be.
Exactly. Just a nice piece of wheatgrass in the field.
It sounds quite pleasant.
Yeah, it does. So agility is the ability to move quickly and easily, to be flexible and adaptable, also to respond to changes and challenges in a timely and effective manner.
Yeah, you know, when I met with Alex Stadler, who's my a massage body therapist.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about agility. When I was in Taekwondo, you know, we talked about agility a lot, right? Because your ability to do some of those techniques require agility. I mean, honestly, I think that's the greatest benefit to karate is increasing your agility. But you know, it was funny because Alex mentioned that, you know, these people, they want big biceps.
Yeah.
So they'll work out their biceps all the time for hours, for years. And then all of a sudden, they can't even barely move their arms. Their arms are so restricted because the way they built their muscle, they can't even fully extend their arm or fully retract their arm because their muscles won't let them.
Yeah.
And to me, that's the perfect example of a business or a company where they take something that they think is their strength and they overbuild it to where they lack agility, and then competition comes and just wipes them out overnight.
Yeah.
And they were like, but we had the best system, the best thing, the best whatever it was.
But you doubled down on it. You tripled down on it.
Yeah, you tripled down on it.
And you tripled on the double down.
Yeah, and then you became so rigid in that thing that was your strength.
Yeah.
that you couldn't flex and you.
I kind of like to, your partner or business partner, I should say, Donnie,
Yeah.
talks about, all right, you want to be an athlete.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to be able to just shoot 3-pointers
Yeah.
because that doesn't mean shit
Yeah.
if you can only do that.
Right.
You know, that's just one thing.
That's just one thing.
It's one that doesn't make you amazing at a sport if you can only do one thing.
Yeah.
So
You gotta be able to be a team player.
plus
Move around the
everything
court.
changes so fast.
Yeah.
I know it's like all of a sudden TikTok might not exist. Something gets taken over, a new apps, you know, someone creates a new app, then boom, everyone's off of the old one.
Yeah.
Remember there was, for the people my age, there was Zynga.
I don't even know what that is.
Exactly.
Missed that
It's
one.
gone. Remember MySpace?
I do remember that one.
Remember I used to find all kinds of new music on MySpace.
Oh wow.
Yeah, MySpace music.
I saw this guy. It was the MySpace creator, and people were roasting him on the comments.
Yeah.
This was like post MySpace, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Yeah, so I sold out for like 60 million. What are you doing with your pathetic little life?" And I was like, "Boom, roasted."
I remember that too.
So anyway, yeah. So in the context of business, the ability to quickly respond to changes in the market customer needs. So that's just what we're talking about, right? Like customers change, political environment changes,
Yeah.
trade wars. I mean, there's just so much. Like one day we were in a pandemic. Now we're in chemical warfare against citizens. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like from my time of being in high school, we've been at war
Yeah, pretty much the whole time.
the whole time.
Yeah.
And there's been, like we've kind of felt safe in our country, but like there's always been some war going on. There's always been some opportunity for terroristic threat.
Yeah, market crashes.
Yeah, market crashes. We went through
There's
the 2000 crash,
93.
the 2008 crash.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just since my adulthood.
Yeah.
I lost $30,000 on my house in 2006. Oh, we bought it in 2006, sold in 2008. Now we bought the least expensive new home in our county.
Yeah.
We wanted a new house, and we've literally found a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom. It was the lowest priced new home in
Yeah.
the county.
Yeah.
So we didn't lose too much money. But anyway, so yeah, and then here we are now, financial uncertainty, like
Always. You know?
like with China and Russia moving to gold and a lot of the oil experts moving off the dollar, like that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, and guess what? We have to be agile.
Yeah, we gotta be agile.
Exactly. I mean, it's just, when you look at what we've already gone through in our lives,
Yeah.
and then when someone like our grandfather saw like Great Depressions, wars, you
Yeah.
know, like real depressions, like
Yeah.
bread lines and soup lines and shit.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's for all those people out there like, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
If you plan on being alive for 80, 90, 100 years, something's gonna happen.
You're gonna see some shit.
Something's gonna happen. So just go ahead and work on that agility.
Yeah. I mean, you can overplan.
I mean, yeah,
You can also be agile.
Yeah.
And then you can do both.
exactly.
And that's probably the sweet spot.
Yeah, I mean, if you spend every single dollar you have building a bunker and buying dried beans, that might be excessive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just only do that with 85% of your money.
So a study published in the Journal of Applied Psychology found that people who have a growth mindset or a belief that they can learn and grow from challenges and failures are more resilient and adaptable to face the change.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so here's a perfect example of this that happened last week for me personally. So, told you I'm launching a footwear company this year, and the name we came up with was like completely outside of context of anything remotely footwear.
Right.
So I was like, I didn't even think about trademarks. I didn't even think about, I didn't even think about any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so then we found this incredible designer out of the country, Georgia. He made the most beautiful logo I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
The most-
it's amazing.
Yeah, the proudest thing I've ever seen and been a part of from a logo design standpoint. And on a call, it was like, hey, don't forget to check the trademark stuff. And I was like, oh, yeah, good call. Let me just go ahead and look it up. Looked it up. Company with the same name who does footwear and has a trademark. Now, their logo is different. So at first, it was funny. Like, at first, I immediately was like, frozen.
Yeah.
Because that's my typical tendency, is just to kind of freeze, delay.
Okay.
Like, oh, that's a lot of mental energy to think about if we have to change all that. So I'm just going to ignore it. So instead, I found it, emailed the team, and said, this is what I found. We have 4 options.
Yeah.
Reach out to the company, hire a trademark attorney, ask them if we should reach out to the company and, get their opinion if we should, and just say, hey, we're in completely different spaces, different titles, all that kind of stuff, like whatever. Or, to the other extreme, which is just go ahead and change the name.
Yeah.
And send it to the team. I'm going to talk to an attorney and see what they say, and then we're just going to take action and keep moving. Whatever.
That's all you can do.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
You can't have too many attachments.
Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah,
Agility.
if you get attached to what you expect is going to happen, that's when you start to become rigid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
I could over obsess about it.
Yeah.
We could just move forward with it.
Yeah.
And then get sued or get a cease and desist, whatever.
Yeah. All right. So
attachment. So that's agility. What's next?
Well, what's the opposite of agility?
Well, we talked about rigid, but the next thing is resilience.
Ooh.
So we want to be agile and we want to be resilient. So what's the opposite of resilience?
Fragile.
Yeah.
Ooh.
When I looked up the opposite of resilience, there was a couple of different options.
Yeah.
But fragile, I thought was...
Makes the most sense here.
Yeah. So in my mind, fragile is easy to break.
Easy to break. Mentally fragile individuals may have difficulty coping with challenges and setbacks.
Yeah. Yeah. So Talent Smart, a company that specializes in emotional intelligence training, found that only 36% of over 1 million people they surveyed were able to accurately identify their emotions as they happen. So again, the reason I pulled this stat up is because being resilient, right, is really the ability to recover quickly. So
Yeah.
The reason I said fragile is you're easy to break.
Yeah.
You're easy to push down and
Yeah.
you don't get back up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in my mind, I was thinking well, what does that even mean? The opposite of resilient. And for me, I really found that it's people that are struggling with low emotional intelligence, right? You say one thing that may be constructive criticism and they spin for a week.
Yeah.
And whatever negative, they're broke, that you push them down and they're down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but when I found this, 36% of they had 1 million people in this survey, which is crazy, but only 36% was able to identify their emotions when they happened, which means the overwhelming majority of people can't even articulate or identify the emotions that they're having. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's crazy to even think about.
Yeah. 64%, by the way.
What did I say? 63?
Yeah.
Yeah, 64%. Nice. Yeah, that's crazy.
Isn't that wild?
That's wild.
But what's funny is until I started going to therapy, we know I'm mad, I'm sad, I'm happy, but outside of that, whatever.
This is bothering me because I have deep-seated emotions about a thing that happened in my childhood.
Yeah, people don't do that.
Yeah.
But to be resilient is when someone says something to you and you something triggers and this a rage starts building, and then again, that can wipe you out for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or you can literally quit a business or fire someone or whatever, something that's a little bit more dramatic. But to your point, instead of it's oh, this has nothing to do with you, it's all me. I'm going to work through this. I need to do this. These are my steps. I'm going to go take a walk. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to do this. We're going to have a good, crucial conversation. And then bam, we're going to be back working in no time. That's resilience.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got another study here.
Yes, we do.
Bro. It said, this is a LinkedIn study, nearly half, 46% of professionals surveyed reporting feeling imposter syndrome at work.
Yeah.
So we talked about imposter syndrome.
Yeah, we did a whole episode on the imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
So how many people feel the imposter syndrome but then quit?
I don't know. I don't know. I wonder I don't know if there's even a stat for that.
Yeah, I don't know. How many people How many people, maybe they don't quit because that's extreme, but maybe they literally stop at the ceiling? Because imposter syndrome is, I'm not qualified to be here. So what if they literally stop there because they don't feel qualified to go forward?
Mm-hmm.
Again, to me, that's the opposite of resilience.
Yeah.
Because resilience is, I may not feel qualified to be in this room, but I'm in this fucking room and let's go. That's resilience.
Yeah.
Resilience is walking into a room and someone actually commenting that you're not qualified to be in the room, and you say, fuck you, I'm qualified to be in this room, let's go. Right?
Yeah,
That's resilience.
If you are, hopefully you're not lying about it.
Well, and how many of us in this world are 100% qualified to be anywhere?
Yeah, what is 100% qualified to be anywhere?
Exactly.
It's just, what are your past experiences? What's your knowledge on the thing?
Right. And you know what? Sometimes the person in the room who's new is the best fresh perspective. So maybe we're all qualified to be in the room.
Well, that's a whole nother thing. Like people who are unwilling to learn from others.
Yeah.
You know, just because they might be less experienced or younger or whatever.
Yeah. The only time that I think that I would not want that person in the room is if they're performing surgery on me. I prefer to have someone that's well experienced and confident.
You don't want the new guy on the... Never know.
Preferably not. So next we're talking about low emotional intelligence. The Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that individuals with low emotional intelligence tend to have higher levels of stress, anxiety, and depression. So a lot of people in business, I think, they get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
They get filled with stress and anxiety, and according to the stats, they give up within the first year.
You're letting your emotions run unchecked.
Yeah.
You're letting the emotions run amok.
Right. Run amok.
Because you have low emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Brutal.
Got another study here, Journal of Managerial Psychology, found that leaders with low emotional intelligence tend to have lower levels of employee engagement, job satisfaction and productivity, and higher levels of turnover.
Yeah, so if you're not resilient, you have low emotional intelligence, and you start a company and everyone you hire quits because you suck.
It's not going to...
Sorry, that's a harsh term. Because you have low emotional intelligence and you haven't done the introspective work to work through that and become higher emotionally intelligent and work with humans better.
Yeah.
That's better than saying suck. Maybe that's why your businesses fail, because no one can work for you.
Yeah. I've seen it before with restaurants.
Yeah.
You know, the owner, maybe the main chef or whatever.
Yeah.
Impossible to work with.
Yeah.
And then the turnover rate the turnover rate in restaurants is already high.
Yeah. Well, don't make it worse.
Yeah. Then you throw in a freaking manager or a chef who just like goes ballistic every day. No one wants to be there.
Yeah, it's interesting because like when a lot of times in our modern society, when we think of resilience, we think of like, two boxers and the guy that gets knocked out or like hit down, he's barely knocked out, and he gets back up, then he wins the fight. So we picture like this strong fighter. But what's interesting is most people don't win the battle in their own minds. So our picture of resilience is like this strong, confident person, man or woman. But honestly, I think resilience is the person who's like the mindfulness person, the introspective person, the calm person, the grounded person.
Well, even to your example right here with the fighter, was it their muscles that made them get back up, or was it their willpower? Was it their mind?
Ooh.
Right?
Bro, I didn't even plan that.
Right? I mean...
I wasn't even thinking that, but that is a
Let's be real. So you're
point.
talking about the mental game. Well, there it is too.
There it is.
I mean, yeah, you have to have the strength to even be there, to be able to take a punch, and you have to have the body and the training.
Yeah.
But when you get punched in the face, I've never actually been punched in the face by a boxer or whatever, but in that moment, like, what's making you go?
Yeah.
It's willpower, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
It has to be.
I mean, it's mental.
Your body is probably screaming, like, get out of this area. Like, it's got to be all.
So, I mean, it is a mindset.
I got a good boxing story.
Let's go.
I have been knocked out.
Yeah?
So there was this guy who was older than me. I was in early high school, maybe 10th grade or something, 11th grade.
Yeah.
And he was, like, graduated already, but we all hung out with him because he was cool and had a house. And
A place to hang out and drinking.
Drinking smoke. He boxed.
Yeah.
He was a good fighter, known for being a good fighter. And I didn't really understand boxing at the time. I didn't realize how hard boxing was.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, I bet I can stay up for 10 minutes
Whew.
10 minutes. Anyone who's ever boxed, like,
They
just
just
laughed.
laughed,
Because
yeah.
10 minutes is like, I mean, that's 2 5-minute rounds.
Yeah.
So, and just punching a punching bag for 10 minutes is like, will wear your ass out. I mean, really, a minute is hard. But anyway, so he's we hit go. Someone says go. We're in the living room. This is one couch, one TV living room, right?
Yeah.
No, nothing on the wall, right? A bachelor pad. So we start, and he's kind of toying with me. I'm not landing any punches. He's kind of jabbing me.
Yeah.
It's like a lion. You see the lion and the prey still alive,
Right.
but they're just kind of
playing with it.
Yeah, they let it run for a second, and then they like eat a piece of its leg.
Yeah.
And then they let it hobble for a minute, then they eat another piece of the leg.
Yeah, they're just playing.
They're just playing.
Yeah.
And so he was doing a little bit of that, and then I woke up, and I was on the floor, and I was like, "What happened?" He's like,
I stopped playing.
"I stopped playing." But he was a good guy, man. He gave me a hug, and he said, "Man, if you need anything, money, girls, drugs, just let me know." It was a great experience. I felt super loved.
That's awesome.
Anyway, so that's my boxing story. So, but I got back up.
Yeah, I remember Clifton and I. We had some boxing gloves, and we were just kind of punching each other. No one got knocked out, but I had a headache for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, yeah, this is a pretty brutal sport, and I'm good on that.
Yeah. So, getting back up, what does it mean to be resilient? I mean, I think it's pretty obvious here, but be able to recover quickly from a difficult or challenging situation. And this can be you're walking down the road and like literally from behind someone punches you in the back of the head. Like, and then like you wake up in the hospital and like you walk down that road the next day, right? It can be something that's external.
It's
that
everything.
Blindsides you.
Yeah.
And it can be internal too, right? It can be like some emotional trigger or some whatever.
We've seen those people, online where something happens. Maybe they lose a leg in an accident.
Yeah.
And then you see them and they're still like, they're just making jokes. They're like, oh, they turn it into like a positive thing. Like, now I don't have to worry about this, or now I don't have to worry about getting sunburn on my left arm because I don't have one.
Yeah.
Here's some bullshit. I don't know. Whatever the story is that they tell themselves, but they just don't let it ruin the rest of their life.
Yeah. I was reading stories of resilience, and I don't remember the young lady's name, but when she was 13, her left arm got eaten by a shark.
Yeah.
And but she's a world-renowned surfer. She kept surfing. She was a surfer. Arm got eaten by a shark.
It's funny,
Still
we
surfing.
both referenced the left arm.
God, that's weird.
That's weird. But she kept going.
She kept surfing.
And how many people would have just been like, I'm never going in the water again?
Me.
Me. That's amazing.
So, there's your survey. 1 out of 1 person you've asked.
Oh. So, another couple of attributes for resilience. Looks like resilient individuals are able to maintain a positive outlook, like we were just talking about, manage their emotions, and adapt to new circumstances.
Yeah, and you said it before, right? Like managing your emotions.
Yeah.
To me, the opposite of resilience is like you can't manage your emotions. Like you're constantly just, like I said before, like one thing happens and like you're the person in the office that just goes nuts.
I think the real question is like, are you in control at that point? No.
No.
You are not controlling your life.
No.
Because anything happens and now your emotions override your default network, or they are your default network.
Yes.
It just overrides everything.
Yeah. And to empathize, the first reaction is to try to micromanage your emotions.
Yeah.
When really you should probably just go to therapy. And therapy may be walks and meditation for you, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying like don't try to like overextend yourself micromanaging your emotions if that's someone that you're not resilient, like, and you struggle with controlling your emotions, like do the work. Like truly get to the core of that. Figure that shit out.
Real quick, this was one of the whole freaking points of the cold showers, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. You are making yourself do something you don't want to do.
Yep.
And then in that, you gain that power in the mind.
Yes.
You're building that muscle to where you're like, I'm in control.
Yeah.
I'm not letting outside influences, emotions, and shit control me.
Yep.
Because because people think they're the one just like steering the wheel.
Yeah.
They think that their brain, oh man, I'm in control. But are you really?
Yeah.
I mean, look at all your unconscious habits.
Yeah.
Look at everything you're doing in your life. Every time you say, man, I shouldn't be doing this, but you do it.
Yeah.
Every little habit where you're like, why am I eating this? Why I know I shouldn't? Why am I doing this when I know I shouldn't?
Why am I not exercising when I know
Why
I
am I
should?
not doing every single thing that I know I should fucking do, and I'm not doing it?
Yeah.
So tell me now, are you actually in control?
Right.
No.
No. You're right.
You know. So that's the whole point of these exercises, the meditation. That's the whole point of making yourself exercise or making yourself do the things that you could just sit around and not do.
Yeah.
Because you're training that muscle.
Yeah. That's a good point. How many things do you say, I would do that if I had time? That's really just you saying, I'm not going to do it.
That's you saying, I haven't prioritized it at all.
Yeah, I don't have time to exercise. Well, then you're not in control of your life.
Plain and simple.
I don't have time to meditate. You're not in control of your life.
Yep.
I don't have time for my family. You're not in control of your life.
You're just not, you're not prioritizing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not in control.
I mean, and it's okay if you realize that, once
Yes.
you realize that.
Yeah, that's the goal.
So anyway,
Resilience is not something that people are born with, but rather it is a skill. Oh my gosh, Jonathan, I love it when you say something and then the next bullet, like back to resilience. You're not born resilient or non-resilient. It's a skill, right? It's adaptability. It's learning. It can be strengthened over time. So to your point, the cold showers, making, starting the habits, but forcing yourself to do things that then become habits like exercising, going for walks, meditation, sleep habits, eat habits, all that kind of stuff. Like that's improving resilience. And you'll see in a minute when we talk about steps to increase mental resilience, because we got a science-backed article down there in our notes. These things really contribute to that.
I was lucky to be in an industry for like 10 years where you have to be agile.
Yeah.
Someone calls you, they're like, it hailed in Texas, start driving to Dallas, Fort Worth area, and I could sit there and be like, what part of town, where should I stay? When's the start? When does everything start? Because some people wouldn't be able to handle that.
Yeah.
But you just pack your shit, hop in the car,
you
start driving to the city, and you'll figure it out when you get there. And everything's changing like this.
Yeah.
Like, okay, all right, it hailed somewhere else. You're only going to be here for 2 more days, and then you're done. Then you're going to head to Kansas. Then you're going to do this. And it's just like,
that's wild.
it's just moving and moving and moving. If you're not agile, some people can't handle that.
Yeah.
They can't handle, what do you mean you drive to a town and you don't know what hotel you're going to book a hotel when you get there? You don't know where you're staying? Some people that they can't, they literally can't handle it.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I drive. I don't know where the fuck I'm staying, but I'll figure it out when I get there.
Yeah.
And it's just the ultimate, like, in the moment agility.
Yeah.
So I've just been doing it.
Yeah.
So
I think one highlight reel I can speak to that requires incredible agility
starting
and resilience is adopting.
Oh, yeah.
So both of our kids are adopted.
Yeah.
And like for our second kid, who's now 6, we got a call on Thursday and said, if you want them, you got to come pick them up by Tuesday and sign the paperwork.
That's crazy.
Got a call on Thursday. And
Yeah.
met him on Tuesday.
Yeah.
6 years later.
Yeah.
But also,
Yeah, it's amazing. You got the call and then, hey, bro, those people are like, I can't, I don't have time for that.
yeah,
You made time for that, right?
yeah,
You don't have time, you make time.
right.
And so
It was not on the schedule.
It was
to
not
get a
on,
random call
it was not on the schedule to have 4 days or whatever how many days that was.
to drive 9 hours.
To drive 9 hours, go sign paperwork, and adopt a child.
And he was in the NICU, so we stayed there for a month. Actually, my wife did, and then I ended up having to drive back and forth.
Yeah.
And we had to stay in a hotel.
That's agility.
Yeah. We didn't know where we were going to stay.
Yeah. And most people would not be able to handle that.
Yeah. Well, most people are like, we can't have kids because we're not financially ready.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
I don't know if we're financially ready for anything. We're not financially ready for this.
Hey, you're only financially ready until you realize you're not.
Yeah. I mean,
you're never financially ready until whatever.
were we financially ready for a pandemic?
I don't know.
Anyway, probably not. Here's a quote that I think I pulled. It's the quote is from Unknown, but I love this quote. The strongest people are not those who show strength in front of us, but those who win the battles we know nothing about.
Yeah.
And to me, like when we talk about mindfulness people and monks and like the grounded people and, you know, the person who is like on the meeting and they're like, you don't know how hard I worked.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Like, I don't respect that person.
I don't give a fuck how hard you worked, personally.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't even care about working hard. I care about working smart, personally.
Usually when someone makes that statement, they're just projecting that they worked harder than everyone else. So I reject that statement.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
Good for you.
We talk about, we talk about what we do like on the podcast, and it's great. And it's actually, we're feeding off of each other's better habits.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see progress. But a lot of this I was going to do no matter what.
Right.
So even though I wasn't going to talk about it, I'm not running around telling everyone, dude, I took one cold shower and I put this in my coffee and it felt great and I did 10 burpees and I woke up and I did some deep breathing. I'm not just going to sit there and tell everyone.
Yeah.
It's all the little things you do throughout the day for yourself. They're not for anyone else.
And you know what's great, bro?
What's that?
You don't have to say it. I can fucking feel it.
You can fucking feel it. And when people see you and they're like, you're different. You look different. Your energy is different. You're like, yeah, that's all the shit I'm doing that I don't talk about.
Yeah.
That's literally what that is.
Yep.
Do you want to be that person where when someone sees you, they're like, wow.
Yeah.
People can tell.
People can tell.
People can tell. We don't give ourselves enough credit on our intuition. Some of us do.
Yeah.
But a lot of people aren't sitting there thinking like, man, I have great intuition, but
Yeah.
You fucking see someone.
Yeah.
And they're glowing, or whatever word you want to put there.
Yeah.
They're vibrating.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, this is what they're doing. It's right here. The strongest people are the ones who don't show strength in front of us, but those who win the battles that people know nothing about. They're little battles every day.
Mm-hmm.
They woke up. They were resilient. They did their workout when they said they were going to.
Yeah.
They did their cold shower because they told themselves they were going to. They didn't fucking compromise internally.
Yeah.
They set their stuff out and they did it.
You want to work for the person who didn't do this and they come in and they're stressed and they're projecting all their personal stuff and vomiting it all over the team constantly because they're not
winning their little battles.
Yeah.
They're a little quiet.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway, so steps to increase mental agility. I love this first one.
Stay curious.
Stay curious.
Ooh.
Mental agility. Stay curious.
Yeah. Gotta say, I love learning.
Yeah.
I'm curious about if someone who's really knowledgeable is telling me, it could basically be any topic.
Yeah.
And I'll listen. I'll be like, man, that's awesome. I had no idea about dolphins doing this or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit what it is about.
Yeah. It's just really...
It's fun to learn.
Yeah. It's like those, how things are made.
Oh, yeah.
Show. Like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Like when Mr. Rogers, my kids watch Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
It's like this 80s episode when he went to the pretzel factory.
Oh, dude, that sounds awesome.
I'm sure that's not how pretzels are made anymore, but that's how they were in the 80s at a small company in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood.
Man.
But stay curious. But I think it's learning new things, but it's also like when someone says like, this is how we do it. Why?
Oh my gosh.
I can't talk to that person. Why?
Yeah.
I get really frustrated and because of that person. Why?
Yeah. Ask why for basically everything.
Yeah. So stay curious. Here's the last thing I'll say on stay curious. Introspective curiosity.
Yeah.
I can't do that. Why? Why can't I do that? I'm not creative. You're not creative? What do you mean you're not creative? This is the internal narrative.
Yeah, I got you.
Like, stay curious introspectively. And I think that will radically increase mental agility.
Yeah.
Embrace new experiences.
Yeah, I've been there.
You say it all the time, like, just drive a different way to work sometimes. These little tiny things, these little breadcrumbs, increase agility.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Yeah.
Brush your teeth with your left hand.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's funny. Alex Stadler, mentioning him again, but he said when you go into a stretch, you always want to come out of the stretch the same way you went into it. It's actually better for your body. But he's like, I was with some kids or something. I don't remember the story context, but he's like, I said, throw a ball. Now, do it in reverse. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Really weird to think about that. But again, just another opportunity for mental agility. Try something new.
It's just little things every day for real. You know?
You know what a really good new experience is?
What's that?
If you've only hung out with people that are your race,
There you go.
hang out with some people that are like different race, different culture, different background,
Man,
different
yeah.
nationality.
Mm-hmm.
That's one way to increase that mental agility big time.
I
You're
think
like,
so.
wow, all my biases were wrong. Or they'll be like, no, your bias dead on with that. That shit's true. You know, you never know. But
Yeah.
mental agility, like hang out with people that are not in your,
Just meet a lot of people.
meet people.
From all
That's a
over.
big one.
Yeah. Develop self-awareness.
Yeah, we talk about that one a lot. Just be self-aware when you're not being agile and why.
Yeah. More empathetic.
Yeah. It's funny, we talk about introspective work, but also in part of being empathetic is the opportunity to put yourself in someone's shoes, feel someone else's emotions, things like that. So it's a healthy balance between introspective work that's not narcissistic. Like, I'm going to think about me all day today. I'm going to work on me. I'm going to do me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's a healthy balance between understand yourself and self-awareness, but also spend time with other people and turn off yourself and active listen and understand who they are and where they come from and why they feel the way they feel and their perspectives and, you know, all that stuff that really helps mental agility.
Yeah. I mean, what is that? The phrase kind of like how everyone's acting is just a reflection of your internal world,
Yes.
you know?
Wow,
It's
that's
like,
good.
That's why, I mean, I'm not blaming people for anything.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what they went through.
We're all trying to figure it out.
We're all trying to figure this shit out.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
And we live in a culture and a society where it's not easy.
Where you're bred to be a worker,
Yeah.
more or less.
Yeah.
A cog in the machine.
Yep.
All right, bro. Looks like you found some steps to increase mental resilience.
Yeah, so this is from an article, 7 Science-Backed Strategies for Building Resilience.
Okay. Science-backed. I like that.
I mean, hey.
Hey, who paid for that science, though? I'm just kidding. Yeah. What do we got? Let's hit that first one.
Cultivate a strong support system.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, all your friends from high school that kept doing drugs and are, you know, losers.
I think about, for those of our listeners who have been in a friendly mosh pit
Versus
a non-friendly mosh pit. So in a friendly mosh pit, you're having fun.
yeah, you might get knocked down and someone helps you up.
Someone picks you up immediately.
Yeah.
In a non-friendly mosh pit, they just trample on your face.
Yep.
So to me, the reason resilience, having a strong network, is so important is because you might get knocked down so hard that you need your peers to pick you up. You might get your ass knocked out.
Yeah. Hey, let's just be real. Shit's easier with friends.
Yeah, it really is. Good friends, yeah.
You know, I've helped Brian move like 12 times.
I couldn't have done it without you.
And you always call up, somehow you magically get 15 people to show up. You send out a text thread, you know, with 75 people, and usually 10 or 15 show up.
Yeah, it's really the 3 big moves in my life. We had a crew of about 15 people. Yeah. But I'm organized. I project manage it. There's a truck there. The pre-work is done.
Oh, yeah.
People show up. They eat.
Oh, my gosh.
They drink beer. We fill the truck twice. We unload the truck twice, and everyone goes home.
Probably the main rule here for helping someone move is if you show up and the shit's not in boxes yet,
you leave immediately.
That's not your friend anymore. That's someone who just...
Yeah. No, you're right. Here's the way to navigate that. You're right. If someone shows up and is like, "Yeah, man, helping me move," and it's like, there's like the boxes aren't even put together yet.
Like, oh, can you help me?
Boxes.
Can you help me fold clothes and put them in boxes?
Your next response is, "Yeah, man, I'll help you however you need me. I got 2 hours, and then I got to go to blah blah blah. So, man, I got 2 hours."
Man,
Just playing your.
don't be that person.
Don't do it.
All right. Next one on this list: practice optimism and positive thinking.
Yeah, and I love the word practice.
Yeah.
Like, you can decide right now. I had a great breakfast, and I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, for sure.
I had
Gratitude.
sex with my spouse last night, and I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. Totally.
You can have a positive. You can force yourself. You can intentionally think about the positive things.
Yeah. Yeah, you're stuck in traffic, right? You're like, man, I'm stuck in fucking traffic. I'm freaking out.
Yeah.
Or you're like, man, I'm really enjoying this podcast. Now I have an extra 10 minutes to listen to this.
Yeah, and you know what?
And
the car you have is better than 80% of the houses people live in this world.
So true. Yeah, absolutely. It's all perspective.
It's perspective.
I mean, yeah. Anyway.
And positive thinking, like in that moment, you can be like, it's adaptability, right? It's like, if I leave at this time, I'm going to hit school traffic. So I'm either going to not have morning meetings and leave later, or I'm going to leave earlier.
What is it?
Pivot.
Where we had the episode with Alex Stadler, one of our guest episodes, and he said, there's not problems, there's opportunities.
There you go.
So you think you turn your problems into opportunities.
That's right. That sounds like some awesome agility.
That sounds like
resilience.
a whole book.
We got develop a sense of purpose and meaning.
I think people need purpose.
Yeah. If you get knocked down, it's like, nah, I don't want to do that anyway. You're not going to get whatever.
I mean, maybe getting knocked down is what makes you realize you don't want to do it.
Good point.
And the agility is the
is
having the mental awareness to say, actually, I don't want to.
I don't do that.
I don't want to be a ...
I'd rather do this.
I don't want to do this for the rest of my life.
That is a good point. Quitting the fight isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
If you go and do the thing that you want to do.
It just you have to look at your purpose. Is this serving my main purpose or not? Like, actually, I don't care about this. This is not the main purpose I want in life. So I don't want to be a yada, yada, yada.
It's funny that you say that because I was at Thea's house, her sister, Saturday. We're just chilling out. And she said, for so long, I thought that I wanted to start a business. And I was trying the entrepreneurial thing. And then she came to some self-awareness of like, I don't think I want to be a business owner or an entrepreneur. I think I just wanted to do that because that's what I thought would get respect from people.
Yeah.
And she's like, I like being a part of a team, and I honestly love supporting someone else's mission and vision and helping them be successful. I'm completely fine with that.
Yeah.
And I was like, how did that feel to like
figure that out?
Take that pressure off. Like,
yeah.
Oh, you don't have to start a business to be successful or valuable as a human being, and now you can just take that pressure off the plate. And it doesn't mean that you might change your mind in 10 years, but who cares? That's 10 years from now. Who cares? But right now, pressure's off.
Yeah. That's why I keep talking. I say it every episode now. There's no book that fell out of the sky that said, you have to do this.
You have to do this to be a valuable human being.
You have to do it, or this happens. It's all bullshit. We all make ourselves miserable with these things. Like, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah. Man.
I mean, if you want friends or if you want things, you have to be a certain kind of person. But, like, we don't have to start a business because someone in your family or your close friend did, and now they're rich, or like you don't have to do shit.
Yeah.
I mean, in Thea's case, our sister, she realized, okay, I don't want to be an entrepreneur. Yeah. She's okay with supporting someone's vision. Now you just have to find a business or an organization that you support. Yeah. Like, okay, I'll work for this person. Yeah. They care, or they have the qualities that I'm looking for. Yeah. You know. But now you have a path. You have a path. I'm not going to work for a psychopath and make them rich. Right. I want to work for someone I respect. Yeah. And we can grow together. Yep. Yeah. But now you're not forcing yourself in a mold you don't give a shit about. Yeah. God, that's good. Whew. What else, bro? I feel like it's one we say all the time. Practice mindfulness and meditation. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That increases mental resilience. Yeah, imagine that. Yeah, we can just go ahead and... These last ones are pretty... Take care of your physical health. Yeah. It was funny, Joe Rogan, I just saw a clip on him just yesterday that said he was reading a study from, I don't know, Australia or somewhere, but that people that were active physically
the percentage less. It was more effective to be physically active than to take the top 3 drugs for depression. So this is for depression. To be physically active outperformed the top 3 drugs used to treat depression and counseling. So this just, again, physical activity just changes the brain, makes you more resilient.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're used to sitting in a chair and not moving all day, your brain is probably not used to being resilient. It's like,
yeah, I think we say this every episode, right? You know, you don't have to go to the gym. I don't care about the gym. You don't care about the gym. Just start with walking.
Yeah.
Just move the body.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Like,
you're doing pull-ups on the ladder over there.
Yeah. And it's little things throughout the day, you know. I don't not work out all week, and then on Sunday I go on a 40-mile run and kill myself.
Yeah.
You know, I'll do a couple burpees.
Probably do 100 burpees by the end of the office day in here.
You know, I'll do a couple burpees here. I'll work at the computer. I'll do a couple pull-ups. We'll go on a walk, and that's every day.
Every day, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So.
Develop problem-solving skills. So back to my example, the footwear company, like, developing problem-solving skills. Again, like, we live in a culture where our parents solve all of our problems. We're told what to do, not how to think. Yeah. So, like, we don't, like, the brain, there's a skill associated with problem-solving.
And you're not going to learn it in school. We talked about that. School doesn't teach you how to learn or solve problems, really.
Yeah.
There's one answer.
Yeah, one answer.
There's usually more than one answer.
Right. So developing your problem-solving skills is, you know, anytime something comes up, it's just sit down, list your options, get some counsel, and make a move.
Most problems are not. If the person who lost their leg in the car accident can figure it out, and they're not depressed, and you know they're still living an amazing life, and they found a positive spin on it, then you can figure it out when, you know, the name for your website's taken.
Yeah.
You know, or some bullshit like that.
Right.
You know, this was the perfect name. The name was going to make me rich. You know? No, it wasn't. So,
no.
Anyway.
Yeah. So honestly, out of everything we've talked about and everything I've ever read.
Yeah. What's that? What you got?
I think if we can be agile, resilient, and focused, we'll accomplish whatever it is. I won't say successful because that's a relative term, but I'll just say we'll keep moving in the right direction.
Yeah. And not everyone has to be the freaking 9-figure entrepreneur bullshit.
Yeah. But
you still need these, even if all you want to do is start a homestead.
Yeah.
If you want to start a small farm or whatever.
I think that takes more resilience than
farmers are the most resilient people on the planet. Dead serious.
Yeah, dead serious.
That's no bullshit. But no matter what you want to do in life, and part of emotional intelligence is realizing, do I want to do this because everyone in my family was a veteran, or was a this? Everyone in my family did it. Maybe you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So you have to figure this shit out.
Yeah. I watched the House of Gucci movie about the founding family of Gucci.
Yeah.
No, there's no Gucci family that owns Gucci anymore. The movie's fantastic, by the way.
Who owns Gucci?
Just some investment company.
Wow.
But the family, I forgot the main actress. She's a singer, Lady Gaga. What's her name? What's her real name?
No idea.
Anyway, I think she was one of the actresses. Did a phenomenal job. But anyway, House of Gucci, and like, you know, like the son of one of the main founders. There's a couple brothers that were founders, and the son of the main founder like didn't want to follow in his father's footsteps, and then he married his wife, and she convinced him to get back in it, and he did, and he ousted a couple uncles, and he had 50%, 100%. It was mixed between the investment and his family. He ousted his uncles, all that made him all mad. And then once he got his 50%, his wife had him murdered, and he got shot, and he died. So that's the story of Gucci.
Wow.
So
Well,
follow what you want to do, because
maybe doing what other people want you to do is not the answer.
you might have a hard path.
Oh, if you want to be miserable, if you just want to be miserable, if you want to make your life as difficult as possible. I personally don't think life was supposed to be like, maybe for some people, you know what? Everyone's path is different.
Yeah.
But my path is not to fucking struggle every day with something I really despise doing.
Yeah.
I'm not here to do that.
Yeah.
That's just me though.
I don't. It goes back to.
I'm not saying that's not the same as not working hard.
Right. It goes back to there's a threshold that's required monetarily to eat and stay in shelter.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, our base that we believe is required is much higher than most people in the world.
Yeah.
So we can be pretty content in a small house. And it just doesn't, even though things are very expensive, it still doesn't cost a lot
Yeah.
to have a good old Honda Civic, live in a well-maintained little house.
We've talked about this too. The immigrant comes from some country and all they have is a little apartment and a fucking 2007 Honda Civic, with 280,000 miles.
Yep.
And they love life so much. They're
life.
like, sweet, I get to wake up and not worry about bombs or gunshots or freaking warlords or fucking rival factions showing up, and freaking pickup trucks with 50 cows mounted to them.
And they buy their 20 bag of rice.
I get
and
to
they
just
cook from home, and they make the most beautiful epic meals.
Yeah, I get to just live. And that's amazing. So it's like we've been sold this idea that happiness is all this crazy shit.
Yeah.
When really all you need, I don't need a bunch of crazy shit.
Yeah.
Just 400 acres. I'm just kidding. No, but that's the whole thing. But life is funny like that, right? That's just being born in America.
Yeah.
So
all I need is 100 acres and a Ford Super Duty 250 trimmer edition.
If my F-250, if it ain't a King Ranch or a Platinum, I don't want it.
If you ain't got a King Ranch, you ain't got shit.
That's what when I work in Texas, trucks start at 2500s.
Oh yeah, start at 80 grand.
No, what I'm saying, there's like 1500s. F-150 is 1500s, or like Ram. The trucks out there, they start at 250 or 15 or 2500s.
1500 is like that's like the toy car.
In Texas, that's for your wife.
Yeah,
that's for your 16-year-old daughter going to high school. She gets the 1500.
Still 4x4 though. Still 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, even though Texas is
flat,
no snow. But hey, you need it to haul the cattle.
That's right.
But it's pretty funny out there. Anyway, now we're just bullshitting.
Yeah, time to go.
Yeah,
let's go.
Thank you for listening to the Focus Cast. Go to youtube.com/thefocuscast and slap that subscribe button. Head to thefocuscast.com to share what you want to hear next. Go forth and be focused as boy.